The strength of silence. In the peaceful village of Elmsworth, nestled between rolling hills and silent woods, lived a young man named Liam. He was known not for his words, but for his actions. Liam rarely spoke unless necessary, yet his presence was felt by all. He helped the elderly carry water, fixed broken fences without being asked, and listened more than he spoke. His silence wasn't awkward, it was deep, almost comforting, like the calm before dawn. Most villagers respected Liam for his humility and wisdom, but not everyone understood him. To some, his quiet nature was suspicious. He thinks he's better than us, some would mutter. Or maybe he's hiding something. But Liam never responded. He simply smiled, nodded, and carried on with his life. One summer, a newcomer arrived in Elmsworth. His name was Noah, loud, charismatic, and always the center of attention. He spoke with authority even when he had little to say. He was charming, quick-witted, and seemed to know just how to get a crowd going. People were drawn to him instantly. Within days, Noah had become a local favorite. He'd tell dramatic stories in the town square, boast about his past adventures, and laugh louder than anyone else. But the one thing he couldn't stand was Liam's silence. Who does he think he is? Noah scoffed one evening as the village gathered for a communal meal. Walks around like a monk. Never says a word, never joins the conversation. Maybe he thinks he's too smart for us. A few villagers chuckled awkwardly, unsure of how to respond. Liam, sitting nearby, simply looked up, offered a calm smile, and continued eating without a word. Noah, however, saw that silence as a challenge. In the days that followed, Noah made it a personal mission to get under Liam's skin. He mimicked him, mocked him during public gatherings, and questioned his intelligence. Silence isn't wisdom, he declared once in front of a crowd. It's ignorance wrapped in pride. Still, Liam said nothing. Instead of being irritated, Liam seemed even more composed. He would meet Noah's jabs with the same calm expression and walk away. This only fueled Noah's frustration. One afternoon, a group of children was playing near the river that bordered the village. The skies had been heavy for days, and the river was rising. Noah, seeing the kids, shouted playfully, "Bet none of you can beat me in a swim." Ignoring the warning signs, Noah dove into the river. A few boys followed, cheering him on. But within minutes, the current grew stronger. The water swelled, muddy and fast. The children panicked. The villagers rushed to the riverbank as cries for help echoed. One of the boys was swept off his feet. Noah struggled to stay afloat. People shouted, but no one dared to jump in. Then, without a word, Liam stepped forward. He tossed aside his boots, tied a rope around his waist, handed the other end to a strong villager, and dove in. The current was fierce, but Liam moved with purpose. He reached the struggling child first, secured him, and signaled the rope holder to pull. Once the boy was safe, Liam swam to Noah, who was now exhausted and flailing. Noah looked up at him, eyes wide. For the first time since arriving in the village, he was silent. Liam didn't say anything either. He simply grabbed Noah, wrapped the rope around them both, and signaled again. The villagers cheered as they were pulled to safety. Mothers cried, fathers hugged their children, and the entire village celebrated Liam's bravery. Noah sat on the grass, gasping for breath. Water dripped from his hair. He looked at Liam, who was calmly wringing out his shirt. You saved me," Noah finally said, still in shock. Liam nodded gently. "Why?" Noah asked, his voice cracking. "After all I said about you, all I did, why would you risk your life for me?" Liam looked at him for a moment, then replied softly, "Because words don't define who we are, actions do." That was all he said before walking away, leaving a stunned silence in his wake. From that day on, everything changed. Noah became quieter, more thoughtful. He began listening more and talking less. When people asked him what changed, he would simply say, "I met someone who taught me that silence isn't empty. It's full of meaning." He and Liam never became best friends, but there was a mutual respect between them, an unspoken understanding built not on words, but on truth. Years later, the story of Liam and Noah became a legend in Elmsworth. Parents told their children, "Don't judge the quiet ones. Sometimes, they're the strongest among us." And carved into a wooden bench by the river was a simple quote. The strength of silence speaks louder than 1,000 empty words. Moral of the story: silence isn't weakness, it's power under control. In a world full of noise, the one who listens and acts with purpose often changes lives without ever raising their voice.